Welcome to the Life in High Gear podcast. I'm Kristin, and this is episode 38. We're going to talk about the reasons why we practice breath work and breathing and meditation and why we do that and what it can do for you and the ways it levels up your whole life. So go ahead and take a breath out wherever you are listening to this and just soften your shoulders down away from your ears. As you're breathing, I'd like to welcome you to follow along on Instagram. There's a Life in High Gear Instagram. Please follow there. You can also support this podcast by going to patreon.com/lifeinhighgear. And that keeps the podcast going. You know what else does too is on Apple Podcasts, you can rate and review this podcast. It helps other people find this. And frankly, the more people you know who are practicing breath work, are chill and responsible for their lives, the better, in my humble opinion. So go ahead and take another breath out. Wherever you are in your breath, try to just go to the exhale. And I'm going to explain why. One listener of this podcast actually came to me and said, Kristin, you don't explain why we're doing the breathing. And she pointed out that a lot of people these days are taking breath work classes or breathing classes. And the reason why we do this is important, but here's what I did. I pulled out my Iyengar book, which is a yoga book. This is called Light on Yoga, which is one of it's almost like a yoga Bible. It's a really important book about yoga and why we do the things we do. And the breath work is breath, the other word for breath in Sanskrit is prana. And prana, the meaning of that word is really life force. So your breath isn't just your breath and the air coming in or out of your body. Breath is life force. So if you think about it, when you stop breathing at the end of your life, the breath is gone and the life is gone. It's the end of life. So breath, prana, is life itself. And according to this, one of the most subtle forms of energy is air. So it's a vital energy. I'm reading here from Light on Yoga. It's a vital energy which also pervades the human body. And so it's breathing in through your nostrils and breathing out through your mouth or through the nostrils. I'm going to put the book down for a moment because I'd like to, in the most authentic way, talk about why I offer breath work in anytime you meet me, anytime you coach with me, and here's why. When you exhale out, before you inhale, there's a pause. So exhale out now with me. Slowly let it go. And I invite you to even push the bottom of the lungs, the air out. So the lungs are empty. Now your belly is in. Hold the breath out. Now find the nostrils and draw the breath in. Hold that breath in. And then slowly let go. There are many reasons why we do this. Continue to breathe. There's something that is called square breathing, which is really what we're doing every time you hear this podcast, view this podcast, listen to the podcast, interact with me. There's a reason why I want you to slow the breath down. The main reason is I want you to notice the pause at the end of the exhale and the pause after the inhale. I want you to pause. So let's do this together. Let's exhale out. Hold it out. Draw the breath in. Hold it in. And exhale out. The practice is called pranayama in yoga. And it's the practice of breath meditation. For me, as I said, the whole point is for me to have you notice the pause. Here's why. The pause is important because it's the pause between the breath that is the same as the pause between each thought you're thinking and the pause between each word you hear me speaking. It's in the pause that real consciousness is alive. So the breath is energy, life force itself. But notice what happens when there's no energy, no life force. There's creativity there. There's great intelligence there. There's consciousness there. So let's do this together. I'm offering a breathing meditation right now. We're just going to go right into it. Put a hand on your belly and put a hand over your heart. We're going to exhale out for the count of 4. Exhaling out for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your nostrils, draw the breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Again. Pause. 3, 2, 1. Draw the breath in. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just laughing at myself because it's so meditative that even my mind turned off while I was doing that with you. So the mind has no role there. Did you notice that? And even my mind turned off. So I couldn't even remember whether we were going in or out, but I digress. Did you notice, what did you notice during that? Did you happen to notice that the mind, even if it didn't go completely off like mine did you happen to notice that the mind slows down? There's no role for the mind there. And it would be interesting too if your mind picked up pace. Sometimes when we do this breath practice, which is really a meditative practice, the practice of pranayama, breath awareness, life energy, drawing it in, letting it go, noticing the control you have over it, and noticing that juicy pause in between that's where everything lives. Did you happen to notice maybe even things got busier? For most of us, things quiet down. What I just did with you is also called square breathing. So we're going to do this again, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So exhale out when you're ready. I'm drawing a square in the air for 4, 3, exhale, 1. Hold the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the breath in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you see? It's like a square. So keep breathing. Try to stay with 4 counts. Follow the breath as you hear my voice. And now take another breath and just notice it. So the practice of pranayama, reading again from Light on Yoga, every living creature can breathe. And every living creature can breathe a prayer along with the breath. So you can breathe in, so, pause, and exhale, hum. So, hum is indicative of the immortal spirit, the I, the I, when the story of I am goes away. So you can breathe in, so, hold it, hum, hold it out. That's another tool. So prana in the body is part of, again, I'm reading to you, prana is part of the cosmic breath of the universal spirit. An attempt is made to harmonize the individual breath with the cosmic breath. So the individual breath in Sanskrit is called pinda prana, and the cosmic breath is called Brahmanda prana. So the cosmic breath, Brahman, the God or universe or spirit. So it's your breath, pinda prana, and it's your attempt to go into the cosmic breath and become one with your source. So if this is too heavy for you, this is a lot for you, I completely understand. But maybe stay with the idea that this is a tool. This is one of the most basic and greatest tools to help you go back into who you are, why you're here, what your purpose is. And if you're like any other human being, your mind is busy. So it's a tool to slow the mind down. And we do this prana, we do this breath work at the beginning of our work together. When we sit down to listen to the podcast, we do it. If you listen to other podcasts, you'll notice that I'll stop and say, why don't you take a big exhale? Just let go. An exhale is also a physical letting go of old stale air and old stale ideas. You'll also hear me use the word nonsense. I just invite you to let go. So that life force that's in you, that was held inside you, gets old, gets stale, and it's a letting go. And then the pause is to clean out, pause, reset, find your nostrils, and breathe in. So if the counting to four to breathe out, 4 to hold it out, 4 to breathe in, and 4 to hold it in, and then go around in that square for as long as you like. One of the things that you can do is set an alarm on your phone for 2 minutes. Just go ahead and set the alarm and do that breath work, and it will calm you down. The other thing about the breath work that works so well is it's not just the energy going in and out, that life force, it's physically calming you down. So most of us don't pay attention to our breath during the day, and it physically calms your body down. Your nervous system goes like this, completely just settles. I just have my hand in the air and I'm just kind of smoothing things over. Almost as if your nervous system were a nervous baby. You turn the baby on its stomach, lay it down, and soothe that baby. And that's what you're doing with your breath. You're soothing your nervous system. So your nervous system, which goes into fight or flight, or I would argue freeze. That's another state, fight, flight, or freeze. Sometimes we're just stuck through the day. Going into the breath immediately lets you exhale, let go of something new that might have come in, that's a new problem. Let go of things that are old problems, and just wipe the slate clean in that moment. And then when you draw the breath in, you do so slowly with intention, taking in that precious energy. That breath has never come into your body before. And when you exhale, you let go of that breath. So there's a taking in and a letting go. There's a detaching from problems. There's a detaching from the physicality of being upset, nervous, hostile, angry. So the breath lets you let go. So one thing you can do is make look at your palm. Bring your palm in front of your face and face your palm toward your face. And now take the middle 3 fingers down so that you just have, it's like a hang 10 sign. You just have a pinky finger and a thumb out. And what you can do is take the thumb and place it on the right nostril. And here what you would do is you breathe in through the left nostril. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in, clamp down on both nostrils with your pinky and your thumb. And then let go of the thumb, and now your pinky finger is on the left side, and you exhale here. And then you clamp down and hold, and you reverse. So if you're not yet watching this podcast on YouTube, now is the perfect time, because what I'm doing is, in filming this, I'm showing you a practice of pranayama, and I'm going to do it right now. If you're only listening, you'll hear this. I have my thumb on my right nostril, and I'm going to breathe in. So what I just did was I breathed in through my left nostril, held it for the count of 4, breathed out through my right nostril, held that for the count of 4, and reversed it. So here's what that does. That is taking the right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain and paying attention to each one side at a time. Instead of all systems go, full throttle, firing up, screaming at somebody, being angry, or taking our anger and drawing it in and being depressed. This practice of pranayama, especially the alternate nostril breathing, will shut down the nervous system's energy that wants to do fight, flight, or freeze. And it will stop that. And you'll be breathing in through one nostril, holding it, breathing out through the other nostril, holding it out. And it calms everything down and helps synergize both hemispheres of the brain so that you're able to do your work in a more magnificent way than you already would. So that is yet another breath tool. This is not the last time we'll talk about the practice of pranayama, why we do this, but I wanted to give you what it is that you wanted, because I have been asked this many times before. Kristin, why do we breathe out like that? Why? I've also been asked, by the way, why do we start with the out breath? And I hope I answered you, but just to clarify again, we start with the out breath because it's the letting go that I want to happen first. When you come to me or hear this podcast, I want you to let go of old stuff. Just like you're wringing out like a dirty washcloth, just let all that stuff go, wring out. So exhale out. And then hold it out, and then draw the breath in, get that clean air, that energy, that prana, and hold it in. And then slowly let go. And every time you exhale, it's a chance to let go of old stuff. So friends, this is not the last time we'll talk about this, but this is just a brief, general, sweet introduction into the why of what's going on with the breath. There are so many breath practices that I could teach you. And if you're interested in learning more about this, tell me, and we can do a little one-on-one about this as well. I'm happy to work with you one-on-one. I am taking on new clients for the summer of 2021. So you can go to the link that's in the show notes and you can book just a 30-minute intro with me. and start to work with me. And I want to hear all about your problems, your challenges. I'm here as a problem solver and a healer for you, to work with you, make you accountable, help you take responsibility, and solve once and for all the issues in your life. So let's take a breath out together. Hold it out. Find the nostrils, draw the breath in. Hold that in. And let it out. Until next time, take care.